2, 1, and we're live. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the stream. Thank you all so much for being here. Really appreciate it. If you're just coming in, thanks so much for spending the day with us. If you are watching the replay, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. So we got an interesting game today, Jake.
Yes, we're
do. Playing the Denver Nuggets. Not only are we playing the Denver Nuggets, but on top of playing the Nuggets, no Russell Westbrook tonight.
Drum roll.
So we're going to get to see. It's going to be interesting. Now, personally, and of course I want to hear your take on it, but personally, I don't think that one game is going to tell us everything we need to know, if Russ is a problem. But I do think we could get some signs, right? Like if guys come out and they're seem reinvigorated, right? They seem re-energized. They seem like they're ready to be to kind of turn over a new leaf, so to speak. Then I could see that kind of being a thing, and maybe they sit Russ out for a couple games, fixing that hamstring. But I don't think either way. I don't think you're going to get like a major, because look, again, there's more problems with the Lakers than just Russell Westbrook. And so I don't think those problems are going to get solved, but I do think you get a couple little insights in this game. But what do you think? What do you think about it?
I think it's healthy for first and foremost. I think it's healthy. And when I found out, I was like, yes. I didn't want to chat for it, but I was like, I'm a little happy just because I think that this is a kind of a final way to feel like we're starting to figure out if we're actually going to be better without him. Like you said, it's just one game. But if you see everybody comes out with more energy, more intensity, it could, and the thing is too, it could be more than the performance. It could be like locker room. It could just be vibes. It could be like, hey, he just carries a certain type of aura with him that we don't really know any of these things. We haven't heard them. It's all speculation at this point, but that's my secret theory. I feel like Russell carries a little bit more with him, kind of off the court, and just the aura that he carries. I just feel like he kind of carries a I'm Russell, I'm gonna do whatever I want type vibe. You know what I mean? And I do think he's a team player, but I do think he's done so much in his career. He does have a little chip on his shoulder. But no, I think it's healthy. I think we actually win this game, and I think Russell will be in his feelings a little bit. And not only that, I don't necessarily feel that Russell is sitting out because he has to. I feel like he's sitting out because he has been listening to the media. He's been listening to, all the critics, and, people say that this team is, but here's the thing though. We've been talking about this for a good minute now. It's not just Russell. And like you just brought up, this game is not, or Russell sitting is not going to fix the other things that we need to do. It's not going to fix the rebounding. It's not going to fix the shooting. But if it can fix the effort in which we do those things, I feel like that lets us know what we need to kind of do with Russell. You know what I mean? Yeah. I still don't think we should make the Buddy Hill just to get him away. But yeah.
So I agree. I still don't think we should panic sell just to panic sell. I do think, like I said, I do think it's going to be interesting to see. I don't think Russ is hurt because he's actually hurt.
Absolutely.
He had the hamstring injury in preseason. He's played fine as far as we know, the last few games. I just think, this is kind of like their way of hey, Russ, we're going to try to see what this looks like without you. I think this is just kind of a test for the Lakers in their front office. I don't think, like you said, it doesn't fix the shooting, doesn't fix the rebounding. Might not even, the question is who steps up and scores, because at least Russ was giving you, he gave you 10 points last game. He gave you 19 in game one. Is somebody else going to kind of step in that role and give you, 15 points tonight? Austin Reeves is starting in replace of Russell Westbrook. So that's going to be interesting. I think, like I said, I think Austin Reeves plays great with starting lineup, especially with LeBron and guys like that. So I do think that it's going to be interesting to see. The question is if they look better, they come out, they win, everything is looking right in the world for the Lakers.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do with Russ? Because again, I don't think they panic sell.
Yeah.
Um, but like, do you bring him off the bench? And if you bring him off the bench, is he going to be okay with that? Do you have him sit a little longer? It causes problems. And like I said, I even made a video, like breaking down this game and Austin Reeves and stuff.
Yeah.
And like in that video, I said like the Lakers are in a lose situation, right? Because if they start Westbrook and they continue to perform terribly, the media and just that dark cloud is going to be there. If they bench Russ, then the media and the dark cloud is going to be there. If they sit Russ, then the media and the dark cloud is going to be there. It might actually be worse if they sit Russ and they just don't play him, because now the whole conversation is going to be about that. If the Lakers still aren't good, now the conversation is like, well, you guys were just so like it isn't Russ. You guys thought it was Russell Westbrook. So, you sat Russ.
That's not fair.
Yeah, but that's what the narrative is. And if you send Russell Westbrook home, you're essentially giving up on Russell Westbrook. And so now the conversation is like, so you think you're better without Russ than with Russ, because that's what you'd be doing if you send him.
Yeah.
So
that's true. You're saying a statement.
So I think it's a lose situation no matter what. I think the only thing that you can do right now is try to weather the storm long enough to where you can be patient and find a viable trade. Because last thing, like if the Lakers start 0-10, they got to do something. And now you're getting to the point where you're panic trading, right?
Yeah.
But if you can, like, let's say they win this game tonight and they look good, and let's say you sit Russ, and like, let's say the Lakers go on like a 3-game winning streak, then I don't think you can bring Russ back and start him. I think you bring Russ back, you have him come off the bench, and your hope is that you can at least tread water long enough to find like a real trade. Because right now, if the Lakers try to do a trade or anything like that, like these teams know, like, okay, like we want everything.
Yeah.
Because you don't have a choice. You guys are, if the Lakers are 0-8 trying to make a trade, those teams are going to look at it as like, you're already 0-8. Like your season's done unless you do something. So guess what? We want both your firsts. Like, because at that point, now you're trying to, instead of trying to find a trade to give up like maybe one first or no first or whatever, now you're looking at like, okay, well, what's the best trade for both firsts? And like that's a bad position to be in if you're the Lakers. So it's gonna be an interesting game. It's gonna be an interesting like couple games potentially, depending on how things really kind of shape up here. But like what would you do with Russ? Like, say the Lakers win tonight. What is your game plan going forward for us?
If they win tonight, now before I answer this, I do want to know what is the what is the official status? Did now they tell him to like take this game off, or did he decide to take this game?
No, it's a hamstring injury, is what it is.
Okay, so given that information, which we know what that really is, I would say what I want to do with Russ, I want to bench Russ and see where that takes us. So like, let's say we come out right, win tonight, and let's say, I don't know, maybe instead of the other team out rebounding us like 20 or 10 like they did the last game, maybe they out rebound us like 5. You can live with that. You know what I mean? That's not necessarily going to determine the course of the game. Unless it's like a really, really close game, then maybe you can look at that, right? Let's say we knock down closer to 35-ish% from 30. So people are knocking down shots. Looking at those things now, does that necessarily contribute directly to Russ? Not necessarily, but after this game, I'm going to go ahead and just bench Russ and just have him like come off the bench, but not necessarily in a huge role still. Like diminishes like minutes, give him like maybe 15, 20, maybe minutes. Just kind of see where that goes. But like I said, have him run the second unit and just kind of go about it that way. Now, if we start to kind of digress again, not do the things that we're supposed to, then at that point, you either have to just bench him indefinitely or send him home, because if the Lakers have a vested interest in not doing so horrible this season, they're going to have to do something. And sooner than later, probably. But I do agree with you. It would be worth to wait to get a trade, but you know, 0-20. I don't want to like. I'm not saying we're gonna get there,
Oh
but
yeah.
just like.
Well, yeah, you don't want to be in a position you can't come back from. You know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
that's kind of the fear is like,
So how do
you
you
know,
time it though? How do you time it? Because we know 20 games is ideal, but like how do you time it? Like what's your record of like absolutely not? We need to do something like now before it gets too bad.
I would give it the first 10 games because
Okay.
like if we're like 2-8,
Yeah.
then it's time to panic. If we're like 5-5, I think we're good. I think you're okay. I think
Okay.
you could tread water. If you're like, you know, if you're like, I don't know, like 4-6, maybe you kind of give it a couple more games. But
Yeah.
like if like like that, or unless the Lakers start like 0-6 or 0-7, then I think you need to panic. I do.
Yeah.
I think you gotta do something.
No, that's huge panic mode. I mean, tough games or no. 7 games out of the
Yeah.
first 7 games of the season, you haven't won a single game. Not
Oh,
a
yeah.
single game.
Exactly. Like if they
Like
like, let's say they win tonight.
yeah.
Let's say they beat like Minnesota. Minnesota looks dysfunctional right now. They look like a team
Yeah.
that could be beat. So like, let's say you win that. Now you're 2-3. I don't think you have to panic. I think you can. I think you can be patient, right?
Yeah.
But like, if we lose tonight, now we're 0-4. We
Yeah.
lose to Minnie. Now we're 0-5. We lose to Denver again. Now we're 0-6. I think it's time to panic.
Oh, what you
Because
just mentioned right there, that Denver, if you lose to Denver twice, you lose to the
yeah,
same team, like you know what I
in
mean?
like
Like
I think they play in like the 5 day span. They play like
like you
twice
had
in
time to
5 days
make
or whatever.
adjustments, watch tape, watch game film. Here's what we didn't do. Like let's correct it. I know home court advantage plays a lot of like into that, but like if you let the same team beat you twice for like you know what I mean? Like especially if it's like close games, like that's a bad sign. That's a really bad sign.
Yeah, it's yeah. So I just think it depends on how do they how do they look.
Yeah.
How like like I said, I'd give it about 10 games. Um, I'd give it about 10 games and just see where where we're at. Because like I
Yeah.
said, if we're like 5-5, I think you can wait. I think you're okay. I think you can be patient. If you're like, you know, 2-8, I think it's panic mode.
Yeah.
If you're like 4-6, I think you could give it a
Yeah.
couple more games. Like I said, I think for the Lakers, I think all you can do right now is just try to weather the storm as long as possible. Just
Yeah.
try to stay afloat as long as possible so that way you could find a deal. Right? Luckily, nobody right now is like outside of Portland,
Yeah.
but nobody right now is like world beater. Like nobody's killing it. Like you don't have like the top 5 teams are all like 3-0, 4-0, right? Like you have Portland, and then everyone else is kind of just like 2-1 right now. So
Yeah.
you're in a like you're not in a terrible position to where it's like, okay, like we are already 4 games behind everyone else. Like
Yeah.
we're in trouble, and I think also it depends on how everybody else is looking, right? Like, so if 10 games in, everything's kind of level, and like I said, you're like say 4-6 or 3-7, and like you're only like a game out of like sixth place, then you can be patient. You know what I mean? Like, because that's another thing that I don't think, and I haven't even really talked about in the equation that I think is worth talking about also is just like,
Yeah.
where are we compared to everybody else?
Okay.
Like if we're like obviously if we're 0-10, yeah, we need to panic, like I said. But if we're like, 3-7, and like, everybody's kind of like, 4-6,
Yeah.
6-4, things like that, then I don't think you need to like panic. I think you can kind of be patient a little bit more. But it's definitely it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see how the next few days go. But
Are
anyway,
you
let's jump.
anticipating that? Oh, sorry, go ahead. I was just
No,
gonna,
no, no. Ask
are
me.
you anticipating that no team has like a really, really good season? Like, I feel like that's kind of where we're going. Like, I feel like,
I mean, there's going to be a team that wins like 60 games this season because it's just how it goes every year.
well, yeah, but like,
But
we're not gonna have like a crazy like.
Well, I mean,
Like-
even last season, for example, right? Like even last season, like teams like the sixth seed was only won like 48 games or something like that. Like so,
Yeah.
like it's not like the top six teams won 55 games. You
Yeah.
know, like so, like even like the seventh seed, which was the Clippers, won I think what 43 games, something like that, 44 games, something
Yeah.
off the top of my head. Like so, it's not like all
Barely
these
half the
teams.
season.
Yeah, so like that's what I'm saying. Like so, like the Lakers only, if we're going off of like last season, which it's kind of shaping up to be, then you only
Yeah.
have to win like 45 games to be in the playoffs. You know, maybe 48 games to get into the if you want to
Yeah.
get the 16. So like like with that in mind, gives you a little wiggle room, you know? Like I just again, I just think it comes down to like what are we after 10 games? And like where are we as far as standings go? You know, if
Yeah.
we're like, 3-7 and we're like 4 or 5 games out of sixth place, then yeah,
Yeah.
you probably gotta like it's time to start looking. Good news, Brooklyn just lost again. So that's good. Another loss for Brooklyn. I mean, they're
Oh
down
my
10 with
goodness.
46 seconds left. So
I have a strange feeling that I just have a weird feeling that like Kyrie and KD, they trust Ben Simmons to do certain things, but I don't think that they necessarily look at him as like that third solid option. You know what I mean? Like I'm not getting that vibe. And you just can watch them play and
well,
I-
he's not working out the way that they had hoped.
well, not to mention
He's
the
not even
defense,
working out the
he
way that
fouled out
I
the other
thought.
night.
Yeah, well, he's fouled out in two of the first 3 games.
Like
Uh,
and like he's known for his I would say his best quality is his defense, but like he
Yeah.
can't like without his defense. I not no disrespect to Ben Simmons. You lose like your key element of your
Yeah.
like yourself as a player because that's him. Like his defense is it, But
Yeah. Well, real quick before we, because I do want to jump into the chat.
Okay.
Real quick before we jump into the chat is like, look, so Brooklyn's what? Well, they're 1-3 now. 1-3 now. Yeah. The only team they beat was Toronto, and they barely squeaked out a win against Toronto.
And that's not like a bragging like, hey, we won against Toronto. Like
Yeah,
that's
but that's what I'm saying. Like they're not beating the good teams. Like they're not even
Yeah.
competitive against the good teams. Like and that is the problem. Like, will they beat like OKC? Probably, but they can't play any defense. They're not putting up the score. Like, I really think this team is going to implode. And here we go for the Laker game starting. But like, I really think this team is going to implode. I really do.
And
I
on
think-
paper, they're like arguably what you would say the best team in the.
I think on paper,
On
they might be-
paper,
yeah, I mean, you could make an argument they might be the best team in the league on paper.
yeah,
But-
yeah, you could, yeah. That's
But
true.
they don't have they don't have any defense, and they don't really have. They just don't look good. That's the problem. Like if they were looking half decent and just losing games, like, all right, they just need to kind of get over that hump. They're in a little funk or whatever. But no, they just look bad.
I'll tell you who is looking good though. Their ex teammate James Harden.
Yeah. They just look like James Harden looks good. The Philly
That's
doesn't.
what I'm saying. Like, yeah,
Philly
no,
looks terrible. But Harden looks like the old James Harden again. He's
yeah,
nice
no,
again.
really. I'm like, I love to see that. I'm like, please come back.
Yeah. Did they lost again today? Philly's 1-3 too. Like,
Yeah.
man, or no, they're 1-4, right?
So
Something
I mean,
like
well, okay, so but yeah, like you said, 1-3, 1-4, and you got 0-3. Like we're really not that far behind against the
That's what
team
I'm
that was
saying,
expected to
compared
be like,
most team,
you know.
we're not like compared to most teams in the league right now. We're not. Come on, make your free throws, AD. Compared to most teams in the league, we're not that far off.
Yeah.
The game's on. If you don't have the game on, the game's on ESPN, by the way.
Oh, you know, I was just pulling it up. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. It just started. 2-2. But real quick, let's dive into the chat. Talk to
All
some
right.
people. Appreciate all these people hanging out with us. What do you expect Lakers to shoot tonight? Hopefully around. Good dime. Hopefully around 30%, something like that. Like
Yeah.
half decent.
Let's hope.
Like because they're shooting 21% or whatever. If they could shoot, around 30%, that'd be nice.
Oh yeah, if we can shoot 30%,
Which
then
thirty
we're living
percent
life.
isn't even that good, but it's better than what they've shot the last few games. Ooh, I got the fries that'll crush your eyes. I got the shakes that'll make you quake. I got burgers. I just got burgers. That's right. Hey, welcome back.
Sorry, I think I lost you there for a second.
No, you're all good. It happens. Fire D Ham. They don't need a fire diver. He's fine. Oh, come on, Davis. You got to dunk on him. Historically, Lakers are like 111 and 74, so they got that going for them as well tonight. Yeah, I mean, historically against the Nuggets, they've historically owned the Nuggets. So, yeah, that's a good point. I still think Lakers fail you guys in the fourth and get their first win versus the Jazz or the Kings. You might not be wrong. I mean, like I said, this team has a lot of problems. As it stands, and Jake, do you think I'm assuming think Lakers can wait 20 games into the season to make a trade? I think it depends on where they're at.
Yeah.
If they're
let's go, AD.
Yeah, like we were talking about earlier, is if they're through 10 games 0-10, no. If through 10 games they're like 4-6, then you could probably wait a little bit. Say through 12 games they're like 5-7, you could probably wait a little bit. So on and so on. I just think it depends on like where you're at, and then where are you compared to the standings. If 15 games in, you're 5 games out of 6th place, then you probably need to hit the reset button. You probably got to do a trade.
I feel like really far from like the 5th or 6th. But that's the thing too. Like you can't necessarily, and that's why you can't necessarily use the Nets because who knows? The Nets might just have a horrible season this season. Like as much as we want to use them as like okay, for along with them, we could be all right. But I agree. Just got to see where exactly we are.
Austin Reeves is looking good so far. Ooh, good board. Reeves and still not knocking threes. They're still not knocking threes, and they're still turning the ball over. Like that's the thing too. Is like as bad as our turnovers have been, it hasn't been Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook only had one turnover in the last 2 games.
Yeah.
Like so like, we're still turning the ball over, and we're still not knocking down shots.
I think Reeves is the only one who's hit a 3 this game. I think.
Yeah, so far. Though I hope Lakers cover plus 5.5 at least. Hopefully they win. Thought I heard
they got Walker starting tonight. No, yeah, Walker.
Yeah, they got Reeves, Walker, LeBron, Davis, and Beverly.
Yeah.
Thought I heard Russ didn't even travel with Denver team. I don't think he did either. I think I read something about that too, but I don't really remember. So this is still as it stands, right? Yes, Love's father. So I had this channel. Just a quick summary for those that don't know. I had this channel just kind of sitting, and it was like monetized, and I was like, what should I do with it? Talked to my buddy Jake here. He's a big Laker fan, and I was like, hey, I got the Laker channel. Would you want to start like a Lakers podcast or channel with me, and like the two of us do it together? And he was like, sure. So we started doing this channel. We go live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday here on this channel. Jake posts clips every day that we're not live streaming. So welcome aboard. I appreciate you being here. And anybody else that's new to this channel, I know all of you are a part of the Lake As It Stands Laker channel. But anybody that's new to this channel, please subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to like the video, all that stuff. Trying to grow this channel too, which would be awesome. Your screen was black. Never mind. We good. Okay, good. What's going on, Snorlax? I appreciate you being here. We won't be able to blame Russ tonight. Yes, if we which we don't look very good right now. Like you didn't even challenge him. Like, that's my big thing is like, what's going to be the excuse? Go Lakers. We just need this one win to get going and moving forward. I'm with you. I just thank you so much. I appreciate that, Los Fathers. Thank you. I appreciate it. I always enjoy our conversations. Always appreciate you. What about 0-10? That's what I'm saying. Like if we're 0-10, it's time to panic. Panicking is never good. I know it's never good, but like if the Lakers start 0-10, you got to do something. Yes, game is starting. Excuse me. It's sad when you have to feel good about another team losing to make you feel better about your own failures. Hey, I will take wins. I will take wins when I can.
Exactly.
Whenever it takes. JoJo,
Right?
hit a 3. I miss him. I know, right? I know. Watch, he's gonna end up balling out tonight. Watch, he's gonna be like, "See, look what you should have done."
KCP. I know.
I think what made Ben Simmons such a good defender was him playing with someone like Embiid. That always helps too. When you got that big body that you can just kind of funnel to, you know you got that shot blocking support down low. You're not wrong. That might have been. Good thing Jake's not me mugging today. I thought I was gonna have to choose violence today.
I'm telling you, it was the glasses. It was the glasses. It was like this weird glare, and yeah, it's like
it was awkward. But no, but no, on a serious note, is trying to watch the game. The game's on ESPN. Joker is good at basketball analysis. In fact, but no, I mean,
he just swept through our whole defense and just breezed to the rim, and nobody even everybody's just let him go.
Back-to-back Finals MVP, or not Finals MVP, MVP, League MVP.
Which last year, I'm sorry, I don't know how.
That was questionable for sure.
Yeah.
Do Lakers win tonight? Be honest, probably not. If I had to guess, especially the way we're playing right now, probably not.
If I had a bet, I would bet no. Truthfully,
yeah.
but
if I had money on the game, I would have bet no. But the fan in me is like, I hope so. Samantha Martin. Hey, Jake.
Hey, Sam.
What's going on, Samantha? Appreciate you being here. Appreciate that.
Thank
is
you.
Joker the highest IQ big man? He might be the highest IQ big man ever. That dude is so smart with the basketball. I mean, just like all the intangibles, everything that he is able to do and capable of doing.
Yeah.
The dude is he's up there. If he's not, he's up there for sure.
Have you listened to his interviews?
Yeah.
He's the funniest player to interview. You ask him a question, he's just like, yeah, I mean, we did what we had to do.
My favorite thing is when they ask him a question about pressure or whatever, and he's like, I'm from Serbia. There's no such thing. He's like, this isn't pressure. He's like, this is.
I think him and Pop would get along great. The thing is, I feel like they're both just straight to the point, no BS. I feel like him and Pop would, or Gasol. He would play. Him and Gasol. I feel like he would play.
Yeah, prime Gasol, prime Powell would be nice. I do think him and his brothers are hilarious. His brothers are always trying to fight everybody. Anytime something happens, I love the whole the Morris brothers, and then the Joker, the Joker brothers, you had he hit Markeith, and then Marcus Morris tried to say something, and then his brothers responded and were like, we'll be at that game too, don't worry. and you didn't hear a peep out of the Morris twin for ever again. He said one thing about it, oh, wait till I see you. And then the brothers responded, and they're like, we don't play games. We're from Serbia, which is true, man. You don't want to fight. You don't want to fight.
You don't.
7 feet. They're from Serbia. They don't care. They would kill you and sit in prison for the rest of their life with a smile on. That's probably better than where they're from. That's what the Joker says all the time. So yeah, no, I wouldn't want to mess with them. But one of the things that I wanted to kind of ask you is because you look at teams like Philly is 1-3, like I said. You have the Nets are 1-3, and these are two teams that many believe are contenders and guys that could be in there. Is it still too early to really be concerned? Do you think it's too early? Even if we let's say even if we lose, good take.
Russ is there. Russ is actually there. Oh, he just didn't travel with them. Okay, my bad.
I don't know.
But he's actually at the game. I didn't think he was
sitting on the bench.
He's sitting on the bench. Yeah, he's in a hoodie.
So then there you go. He's there. But do you think that it's too? Do you think it's too early to worry? You see, like I said, you see teams. I mean, obviously, we're not the Sixers, we're not the Nets, but
yeah.
Although I think the Nets might be pretty bad this year, I think they're going to panic. Miami's what they're 1-3 too, I believe. But
yeah,
I actually thought Miami was going to be. Miami looks like exactly how I thought they would. I don't think Miami's going to be very good this year. because they're old. They still don't have a scorer. Like they
Yeah.
didn't address or change anything this season, and I think I don't think it's gonna. I don't think they're gonna be very good this year. But do you think that it's still too soon to panic? Like, let's say we lose tonight and we're 0-4. Do you think let's be patient, or are you like
See, that's a double-sided answer for me, but I would say on one end it's a little too soon because why it's 0-4, it's still 0-4. You know what I mean? It's possible to start off 0-4 and still have a great season because teams have done it in the past. Not necessarily 0-4, but just get off to a bad start. You know what I mean? Like you mentioned a couple streams ago, like the Miami Heat. You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily the worst case scenario, but if you look at who we have on our team, it is time to panic just because it's like we don't, like you said, we're not the Nets. And the reason I bring up the Nets is because yes, you have arguably one of the top 7 players of all time in Kevin Durant. You have one of the top point guards of all time, Kyrie Irving, one of the top scorers. You have Ben Simmons, which is not necessarily a Hall of Famer yet, but he's still, I think, believe he's an All-Star. But you know what I mean? So like, you can't necessarily like not panic just because it is an 0-4 start. And we don't have the great players on our team. I'll tell you what, 0-5 panic. Little panic mode, just a little bit. 0-5 panic. 0-4, I give it one more game. Just one more game. Maybe the first 4 games was just, I don't know. You can chop it up to like hard scheduling, even though I don't think these teams are that hard to beat. But yeah, so I would just chop it up to like hard scheduling, and we get 0-5, definitely panic. Now 2-7, panic as well. But yeah, 0-5 is like my red flag. All right, like abandon ship. Everybody, we need to do something. Like it just we got to start making trades and stuff like that. But yeah, I would say give it one more game after this if we lose this game. But that's it. That's at the very max.
Well, as long as the Nets keep losing, because that's good. I'm telling you, like, because look, like if in like a month the Nets are like 10-20.
Yeah.
They're good. They have to blow it up. You have to. Because there's no way Kevin Durant, like the whole reason Kevin Durant said he wanted to be traded was because he said that he felt like he couldn't win with this team. If you're right now, it's looking like he can't win with this team.
He couldn't win with this team currently, like as of this roster this year or last year's roster.
No, he said he didn't think that he could work with this team. He did say that he thought that they got some nice pieces and stuff like that. But
yeah.
That he just wants to win and he's only getting up there in age, right?
No, I don't mind that as long as he was talking about last year's team, because this year's team, I can understand that, but last year's team, I mean, there's injuries too last year, but I mean,
look, like I said, the point is that like if they're like 20 games in and they're like 5-15 or something like that. I just don't see a scenario where Kevin Durant doesn't ask out. Like, he might not do it publicly this time, but I could see.
Can he ask out though?
Of course he can. I mean, he did.
Well, because he only signed.
I mean, they don't have to trade him, but like he could. Like, I think if he tries to force his way out again, I think the Nets will trade him.
Yeah.
Because do you really want to go through that all over again? Like, do you want you finally won, right? And I think from a Nets perspective, you have to. Like, if this team is terrible, like I said, like if this team goes and they're, and they're, like I said, they're 5-15 or something like that through the first 20 games, they got to blow it up because you're not winning a championship with this team. Like, you're
and the off chance that they do though, does he still leave or does he stay?
If the Nets win the champ, like if the Nets turn it around and they're like 15-5, I think all will be right in the world. But like if they're not like if they're a play-in team again, like then I don't because like even earlier today I was talking about the Nets and somebody was like, we got to relax. Like the Nets have injuries, and I'm like, TJ Warren, who hasn't played with this team, does not count as an this.
No,
is still
not a contributor. He's not
yet. At least we don't. I mean, maybe he does, but still, like you have.
It's like saying, "Oh, Winning Gabriel got injured, so we don't like." No disrespect to
Exactly.
Winning Gabriel, but it's you know what I mean. Like,
What? Yeah, I mean, it's like okay, a better example would be like Kendrick Nunn. Like, let's say Kendrick
okay,
Nunn
yeah,
hasn't.
okay,
Let's say
sorry, that's
Kendrick
a
Nunn
better
hasn't.
example.
Let's say Kendrick Nunn hasn't played yet. Could
Yeah.
Kendrick Nunn make an impact? Sure, but he hasn't. He wasn't a part of the team last year. He isn't. You know, he's not like. It's not. You have the core of your team, and that's the point.
Yeah.
You have Ben Simmons, Anthony Davis, Ben Simmons, Kevin Durant, and Kyrie Irving. You got the core of your team. Like you know, TJ Warren isn't going to come in and turn you into, you know, the Jordan's Bulls. Like, it's not going to happen. You know, like, it's just, I mean,
yeah. He's not like a
could he be-
Steve Kerr. He's not like
Is he
you know,
gonna-
like he doesn't have that type of impact. Yeah.
yeah. Could he be, is he going to be a contributor? Sure. Is he going to be a guy that, you know, maybe gives you 15 points a night? Sure. But he isn't going to help the defense. He isn't going to turn the team around single-handedly. Like, you know, it's you got your core guys and you look bad. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if they don't look good through like 20 games, if you're the Nets, I think you got to blow it up. I think you got to put Kevin Durant on the trade block. And I definitely think you got to trade Kyrie Irving. Even if it's not, even if you don't trade Kyrie to the Lakers, I think you got to trade Kyrie Irving. Because if Kyrie walks, you're screwed if you're the Nets. You're screwed. Because if you don't trade Kyrie Irving and he leaves, you have no salary cap to replace him because they're still over the cap with Kevin Durant on a max, Ben Simmons on a max, and then they still have Joe Harris on a $22 million deal or $20 million deal, whatever.
Yeah.
There's all your salary. So you can't replace Kyrie. You might as well get something for him. And if this team continues to suck, they're not going to want to keep Kyrie. Kyrie's not going to want to stay on a team that he can't win with or can't play with. And
no, because that was the issue in Boston a little bit. Although I feel like he could have, I still feel like he could have won in Boston. But
I think he could have won in Boston either. I just don't think he really wanted to be there.
Now blow it up for Victor, or just blow it up. I don't think it'd be bad enough.
No, they can't blow it up. They don't have a draft pick.
That's right.
But you like if I was the Net, like if the Nets are terrible, I would call Phoenix and I would call Boston, especially Boston. And I'd be like, do you still like? I'd ask about like, do you still want to do the deal? Like, would you still do Marcus Smart? So here, if I was the Nets, this is exactly how I would do it. If I was the Nets, I would call up Boston. I'd say Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and like 2 firsts, Kevin Durant shares right now. Right, that's a pretty solid trade. That's less than what the Celtics were originally willing to give up. Right?
That's a good deal too. Not to mention, like you're getting a lot of quality for Kevin Durant. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, because the problem is that like one, even if you blow it up, you're still stuck with Ben Simmons, right? So you're not going to be able to trade Ben Simmons because you're never going to get value for Ben Simmons. So you're kind of stuck with Ben Simmons. So ideally, like if I was the Nets, I would call up. I'd say, hey, I want, like I said, Jaylen Brown, Marcus Smart, and maybe you ask them to throw in their rookie, right? What's his name? Why am I blanking on his name off the top of my head? Anyway, they have a new young rookie that could be promising. I'd be like, I want the rookie. I want Marcus Smart. I want Jaylen Brown. I want 2 firsts, right? Kevin Durant shares. You can have them right now. Boom. I actually think
Are you not taking Tatum because they wouldn't give him Tatum, or you still
they can't trade Tatum because of the league rules, player rookie max extensions. You can't have so because they have Ben Simmons, they can't do that deal. So not just that, the whole reason the Celtics want to trade Jaylen Brown is because they fear he's going to leave. They fear that he's going to walk in 2 seasons. So if you're them, you're like, hey, look, we'll do this deal. Do it right now. Boom. Let's say if the Celtics agree, then I'm calling the Lakers and I'm saying, hey, Indiana wants to do 2 firsts for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, right? And the Lakers are going to say, yeah. And I'm going to say, okay, go do that deal, and we want Miles Turner. So, because at that point, I mean, those firsts don't matter. You're trying to rebuild. You're trying to make the best team possible, right? So, like, if you're the Nets, you could care less about those Lakers first, at least right now. Because, again, 5-6 years from now, Nets want to be good, right? So especially if you get Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart. So now you just turned Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant into uh into uh
Marcus Smart,
Marcus Smart. Thank you. Sorry, like the name. Marcus Smart, Ben
Jalen
Simmons,
Brown,
Jaylen Brown, right? Seth Curry and Miles Turner.
young,
You
and
might
running,
you might
and young and skilled too.
yeah,
That would
you
be a
might
fun
that
team to watch.
in my opinion that team is much better than this team. Than the
Yeah,
Nets.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
one, you're probably the best defensive team in the league. With Ben Simmons, Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, Miles Turner, you have four of like the best individual defenders, and then
yeah.
all playing team defense. Marcus Smart just won Defensive Player of the Year because the Celtics were so good defensively. Like you're probably the best defensive team in the league. Not only the best defensive team in the league, you got scoring, you got closers. Yeah, I agree, Snorlax. That quarter did go fast. But like you have everything. Like, and you have depth. You still have TJ Warren. You still have Joe Harris. You still have Nick Claxton. You still like you're a good, deep, young team. You're
Yeah.
basically the Boston Celtics from like 2 years ago, and that team went to the Eastern Conference Finals. Like that's literally the team you are. Like, so I think that so basically you turn Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving into a better team all around. Maybe they might not have the gifted scorers that the Nets currently have, but you still have all your shooters, and you're now instead of being one of the worst defensive teams, you're probably the best defensive team in the league. You're gonna be good. Like I don't know if you're a contender good, but you might be close. You're gonna be better than you are right now as a play-in.
Well, yeah, they're gonna look kind of how like the Celtics look like right now. Like, I mean,
yeah. Well, and the Lakers, the Lakers were willing to give up both first-round picks for Kyrie Irving in the offseason. So if you're the Nets, you're saying like, look, you were willing to give us both first for Kyrie Irving, right? Yes. Indiana wants both first right now for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner, right? They're going to say yes. They're going to say, okay, go do that trade. Keep Buddy Hield because we don't need Buddy Hield because we got Joe Harris. Keep Buddy Hield. Go do that deal. And then we're going to tack on as a third team and we're going to swap, Kyrie Irving and Miles Turner. And, whatever. We want a pick swap in 2028 and maybe Max Christie or something like that, which I like Max Christie, but hey, if we could get Kyrie Irving on this team right now, I think we do it, right? You do that. So now you got two rookies that you could develop under your system that you could have for the long term. I really like Max Christie. You get a pick swap from the Lakers that might be good in 2028. You get, 2 firsts from the Celtics. You get Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, and Miles Turner. Now you're a really good team. You got 2 good young rookies. You got a bunch of shooting. You got a bunch of defense. You got everything, literally.
Yeah.
And the Lakers would do it because, like I said, they were going to do both first for Kyrie Irving anyway. Boom. There you go. Everyone's happy. The Lakers land Buddy Hield and Kyrie Irving. So there's your shooting. There's your scoring, right? So now you get that.
So you think that just because they have Turner, they're fine? Like, well, I mean, if you got Turner, you'd be okay because you're not too worried about the pick swap. And okay,
you're not so like I said, if you're the Nets, you're like, we're gonna lose Kyrie for nothing anyway. Why not get a young center that we can keep now? The Nets have wanted Miles Turner for like 2-3 years now. So
you do that deal just for Turner, really?
Yeah, essentially, you're just basically swapping Kyrie for Miles Turner. I mean, I think the Lakers would have to throw in something else. I'd have to actually look up the money, but they might not because the Pacers have like $30 million cap space, so they might not have to basically because you'd have the Lakers sending. So basically, the Pacers would be taking the salaries. They'd be taking all the salary guys. Maybe you even throw in, I don't know, if you have to, you throw in like a Kendrick Nunn or something, whatever you got to do. Because if you get Kyrie Irving and you get Buddy Hield, like I said, there's your shooting, there's your scoring. Lakers are probably night and day better. You still got your big three. You got your team of now and the next several years, right? And you're good. And the whole point of you preserving cap spaces for Kyrie Irving next year, why not? If you could get him now, again, I'm not saying that this will happen. It's all just hypothetical, but I think the Nets become a much better team. I think the Lakers get everything they want. I
I think
think
Boston would want to make that trade though. That's the only thing. Do you think they would actually want to make that trade?
I mean, they offered it in the offseason.
That's true.
So I mean, why not? I mean, maybe they look at it as like
Because they don't want to help
do
Brooklyn
it in
out.
the middle of the season. Maybe that's how
Yeah.
they look at it. Like maybe we don't
Yeah.
want to do it in the middle of the season. But like again, the whole reason is that they're afraid that they're going to leave. But okay, like let's say they say no. I guarantee you the Suns will make that trade. And so
To get rid of Aiden.
yeah. Well, yeah, you could trade Ayton. Well, the problem is Ayton has veto rights on everything, so he has to want to go to Brooklyn. They can't trade him unless he says it's okay. At least this year. But why wouldn't he want to go and be the guy in Brooklyn?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah,
so,
yeah.
So like if you could get like say the Celtics don't want to do the deal, right? Okay, fine. Move on to the Suns. Get Ayton. Because I think the Suns would give you whatever they want, primarily because the Suns are trying to sell the team. And
yeah,
you know what'll get you more money? Having Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Chris Paul on your team. That'll probably get you an extra billion.
Hey, that's a contender. That's a strong contender. If they could play together, which I don't see why they couldn't, because I know Kevin
Chris Paul. Chris Paul's the ultimate orchestrator, right? You got
like Chris could play with Kevin. I know that for a fact. Well, we've seen that from the team, the Redeem team. Which, by the way, if you have not watched it, and for all of our listeners, if you have not watched the Redeem Team on Netflix, it was a great documentary. Amazing.
Fact. But yeah, so I mean, if you do the Suns deal, you could still do the Pacers deal, right? So you do the Pacers deal with the Lakers. You send Kyrie to Lakers, and now instead of Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown, you get Ayton. Say Ayton, Cam Johnson, and or say Ayton, Crowder, and like Bridges, right? So now you got those three guys. You get the Suns would probably give you whatever draft picks you want. It makes sense for the Suns because now they're probably a legit contender. Not only are they probably a legit contender, but again, the owner's trying to sell the
Bridges
team.
Is nice.
He is, but he's not Kevin Durant. Nice.
No, but he's not.
You know, so you basically turn a center that doesn't really want to be there and Bridges into Kevin Durant, and and then go sign Cousins and Whiteside. There's your center. Your center's now filled, and now you don't have to worry about the center position, and you got a legit team. Like I just think, however you slice it, I think the net could make out pretty well.
No.
And the Lakers are getting smacked. Bruce Brown's 3 of 3 from 3. That's ridiculous. But anyway, let's jump into some more comments. Where were we? We were somewhere over here. I'm just gonna pick a spot. Well, the good thing is that you guys are staying close without LeBron scoring. That's true. They're starting to pull away a little bit here. So
yeah, a little bit.
At this rate, 80 gonna put up a 30+ night. Yeah, 80 looks great. Just hesitated on that 3 too much. I agree. He should have just shot it. If he would have just shot it, he probably would have made it. Whose man is this? What happened if they start doubling 80 is what I want to see. That's what I want to know too. The quarter went. That was the thing in the middle of my rant. What was the game yesterday that had 70 points in the first quarter? Wasn't that who was that? Wasn't that like the
Mavs and somebody?
Yeah, it was either the Mavs or the. Oh no, I don't want to do that. It was darn it. Hang on. One second.
They just airball? Oof.
Need that. Come on, Brown. Man, these guys shoot so bad.
I think he just said below Mavs Pelicans, I think.
Well, was it the Mavs Pelicans? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was the Mavs game. Was that the Mavs game? Yeah. I think so. Where they had like a bunch.
I like the Pelicans. I mean, I like the Pelicans ever since Zion got drafted because I think they, but
the Pelicans look pretty nice. I mean, I still don't think they're a contender, but I will say though, their like big 3 or whatever looks a lot better than I thought. I was really worried that like they would be clunky, and they haven't been so far, which is nice.
I'll tell you what, Lonzo he's gotten better. Ball's
80s.
definitely got better.
Oh, wait, I missed. Lonzo's on the Bulls now.
Wait,
I wish.
yeah, he is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no worries. He's hurt too right now. Still all jacked. Come on, Lakers, get back in this game. I wish we accepted the Bojan trade because he was been playing good for the Pistons, like really good. I agree, but it wasn't worth both first, and I'm glad they didn't do both first. I think Utah did an absolute botch job. Danny Ainge is something. Okay, like that dude blew up his team to tank, and they can't even tank properly. They're like second in the West right now. It's like, oh man, it's hilarious. But what are you gonna do? AD's back is clearly bothering him. Hopefully, I hope he's fine. He just needs to get checked before it gets worse. Yeah, they gotta do something. He's got to stay healthy.
Well, he took that fall the other night in game.
Yeah.
What was it, game two? Game two, I think. Yeah.
I mean, man, every time that guy hits the ground, it's every time.
They said when you're in the arena, you can just feel like the breath just leave. Like, yeah.
Lakers having an early collapse. I hope so. They got it back to 5, but they're still not. They're still doing everything bad that we thought. Lakers not looking good defensively, but better offensively. Yeah, I mean they're moving the ball more tonight. Reeves is just a good cutter. We've gotten a lot of like those like backdoor cuts. They called LeBron. What do they call it? LeBron on trouble? But yeah, we're not looking very good defensively. Offense rebound, nice. I know we need more of those. I don't know why I'm cheering for the Lakers if they win. Your other channel is going to come after with pitchforks for saying problem that's deeper than rust. Oh, I know. Believe me, I know. The live stream after this game is going to be an interesting one either way. Look, I want the Lakers to win. I'll deal with people acting a fool in my live stream. LeBron just traveled again. Another offensive board. Let's go. They called an offensive foul. What? Wow. All right. Even if they win tonight, like the problem is still apparent. Like it's not like it, Braun honestly not playing great right now for his standards, obviously. Yeah, agreed. My only thing is like
he could be frustrated. He could be frustrated with the team that he has. Like he will
maybe.
never say anything to the media. We'll never hear it. But like he could just be frustrated. You know what I mean? Like kind of like Kobe in his later days. Like the squad that Kobe had in his later days. He just I don't want to say he didn't want to play with them, but he couldn't necessarily like I guess demand the championship out of them like he could, in 09 and 010. But I just maybe that's how LeBron's gotten to that point where it's like he doesn't feel like he has a team where he can legitly win. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, it was different in Miami. It was different in Cleveland. It was even different in the bubble year. You know what I mean? I feel like they had different pieces.
Damian Jones is looking nice though right now. He's looking real
Yeah.
nice. Damian Jones is out here hustling.
How far are you ahead of me? I got 8:07 in the second quarter.
Dang, you're way behind.
How far are you?
2 minutes behind.
Stop! Really?
Yeah. I'm at like 6:37?
Sheesh.
No foul. Uh-huh. Yeah, you're way behind. Yeah, good pass from Bev. Yeah, absolutely. I'm at 6. You're at 6. Dang. Luck is in the future. Let's go, Ron. Good dunk. Good hammer. Lakers got it back to 3.
Okay, I just refreshed. I'm at 6:45. I think we're getting there now.
There you go. Well, I know sometimes because I have YouTube TV, and I know.
Oh wait, you're watching on ESPN, huh?
Yeah, I'm watching it. Yeah, I'm watching.
Ooh, I am not.
ESPN. See,
I'm watching on our site. Okay.
Yeah.
LeBron with the slam. So yeah.
No, I know sometimes YouTube TV will be like 20 seconds behind, like in some cases, because it's streaming. It's not like direct cable.
Yeah.
So because I'll even be like, and I'll even be talking to like my dad or something, and he'll be watching the game, and he'll be like, oh, and I'll be like, what? And he'll be like, LeBron did whatever, and I'm like, oh, all right, and then I'll see it like 10 seconds later, and I'm like, I'm handing up the phone now. No, but
I mean, back in the days, at the at the theater and the casino, you
Oh, the
could
betting
literally like hear the sports because the sports room was like on time.
Yeah.
But then we would have the game on too at the theater. We would just be like, "What happened?"
You hear all the cheers and screaming and commotion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, it
But
was bad for football. It was really bad for football.
oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I hated like when I'd be in the casino and like, one TV over here is like a minute behind like the TV over here. And then like it was nice though, like if I missed a play, I could just go to
Yeah.
the TV over here and it was like, okay, I could see it. It was like watching highlights in
Right.
real time. But no, nonetheless though, I mean, look, the problems still look apparent. You know what I mean? They're still not knocking down threes. They're still, they still don't look great.
Not rebounding.
The energy isn't any different. Like that was a big thing. Like, how are they going to look?
Yeah.
As far as like energy, like were they going to look more reinvented or something? And they just don't. Um, dang, Portland going to be 5-0? Utah just keeps winning, man. Utah's up 10 in the fourth quarter against Houston.
Game time.
Utah, I'm telling you, Utah, Danny Ainge, man, that dude dropped the ball so badly. So badly. Yeah, we're still shooting 21% from three right now. We're 3 of 14 from three. So 3-point shooting still isn't helping. Yeah, it's just we're not good from three. Like it's just LeBron's 1 of 4 from three. Walker's 1 of 2.
I don't know what it is this season. Like taking those deep threes and just like, yeah.
LeBron's shot selection is not very good. But the problem is that like this is what I was saying. I've said this before. Like he was doing the same thing last year. Like he'd take these like deep Steph Curry level threes, and it's just like why? Like the only difference is last year he was hitting them. This year he's not.
Yeah, it's not that he's not capable of hitting them. He can hit them. He can't hit them as consistent as like even a Clay or a Steph, but he can hit them. I mean, hey, but yeah,
I don't know. I mean, they don't look that great right so far, but we're gonna see. I mean, it's only a 3-point game.
Question for you. As a fan, as a Kevin Durant fan, and as kind of like going back to our earlier conversation, your rant, and as a Kevin Durant fan and as a Kyrie fan, I don't know like if you're. I mean, I know you like Kyrie, but I know you like them as players, right? But where would you like to see them go? Like, where would you like to see Kevin Durant go, and where would you like to see Kyrie go? I mean, I guess I can assume Kyrie go like probably to the Lakers, but if he didn't go to the Lakers, where would you like to see him go?
Like if Kyrie didn't go to the Lakers,
yeah.
See that's
and would you like to see them stick together, but just on a different team?
If they could go to like, if the two of them together could go to Miami, and the the Heat could keep Jimmy Butler.
Okay.
I actually think Miami might be really good. Like the problem is Miami doesn't have the assets to
tough squad
get both of them. I actually Kyrie might be. I don't know if Miami would like Kyrie, but actually Kyrie could help a lot in Miami because Miami they don't have a score. Like Jimmy Butler isn't a scorer. He gets like 40 just on like pure willpower. He just believes and just
exactly.
Like, and he's just so
he's like that bully grunt. Like
but he's not a natural scorer.
No.
Like I think Kyrie on Miami would be nice. Like, and I think like if they could trade Bam, which they can't because of the rookie rule, but if they could, for whatever reason, if they could trade like Bam, Kyle Lowry, like if they could basically say you can have our entire roster except for Jimmy Butler, I think Jimmy Butler, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant could legitimately win a title. Like I think they'd be really good.
Jimmy Buckets is taking up what most of he's the highest paid player on the team, right? As of right now.
Yeah, I believe so. But here's the thing, too, is Jimmy's one of those guys. Jimmy does not care about his stats. Like, so Jimmy would be fine with letting Kyrie and KD do most of the scoring, and he would just play defense, get assists, rebounds, do everything.
Well, that's a strong third option. That's like really strong.
I mean, literally, you're talking about Jimmy Butler as like your third option, and that guy is, in my opinion, a 2 guy. Like I don't think he's the best player on a championship team, which so far he hasn't been. But I think like if he's like your second guy, I think you can win a championship with him. I
And
think
he's like a guaranteed bucket though. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, I think Kyrie or KD on Miami would be nice. I do. I think
Okay.
either of them, Miami would be really good with him. But Miami just doesn't have the assets and stuff to get them. And then as far as like Kevin Durant, I think the like as far as realistic trades go, probably I think Boston would be the best place for him as far as like chance to win.
Yeah.
Because even if they gave up Jaylen Brown and Marcus Smart, they'd still have a really deep, good team. And you're basically upgrading Jaylen Brown for Kevin Durant. Not that, Jaylen Brown's a scrub or anything, but he's not Kevin Durant. Like, so
No.
I think.
But I feel like Durant would need Smart though. I feel like Durant would need Smart.
I mean, it would help, but they got Malcolm Brogdon, which I think basically gives you your Marcus Smart replacement, and he's been good for them. So I think if he can just stay healthy, I think you got your Marcus Smart replacement,
Yeah.
and Brogdon. You still got White, you still got Williams, you still got the other Williams, Time Lord. You got you got Al Horford. Like I think that would be the best team. I think second, as far as realistic, would be the Suns, depending on what they'd have to give up. But I still think like Devin Booker. I think Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and Kevin Durant are good enough to at least be close. Like if you're not good enough, like you're gonna be pretty close. But the Sixers, I think the Sixers would be another place. You're talking about if the Sixers didn't get rid of Jimmy and had Harden. Oh, dude, if they would have kept Jimmy, I mean, even Embiid said he doesn't know why they traded Jimmy Butler. Like if they could have done the same trade and had Jimmy, I actually think they might have won a championship by now if they had Jimmy Butler. Like I really do. Like yeah, I absolutely do. Like if the Sixers never got rid of Jimmy Butler, I think they'd have a championship ring. At least I think they'd at least have one.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. They probably go to the finals the bubble year instead of Miami. And I think that team matches up way better than Miami did against the Lakers. I actually think Philly, with like the team that Philly had in the bubble year, I actually think that maybe they don't beat the Lakers, but I think it would have been close. Like Jimmy Butler, and I mean, just think of the game or the series that Jimmy Butler had against the Lakers. Now imagine if he had help. Like he had to do that because he had no help. Like if he did that and he had, Seth Curry that year, he had Embiid, he had Tobias Harris. Yeah, dude, that team would have been terrifying. Like I think that they would have won at least one championship by now if they had Jimmy Butler.
That's fair.
Yeah, and I mean now if they had Jimmy Butler, I think they'd be the best team in the league. Like with James Harden, the way he's playing. Because basically, you would have had a championship contending team, and you just swapped out Ben Simmons for James Harden. Now your third guy is Jimmy Butler. It's the same thing we said about Kyrie and same thing we said about Kyrie and KD. The only difference is that I think Embiid and Harden are a better natural fit than Kyrie and KD for Ben Simmons or for Jimmy Butler. Because you could have Harden play the one. You could have Butler play the two, right? You have Tucker play the three, or you could have Butler play the three and Christie be the two, or not Christie, Maxey.
Well, I was about okay.
You could have Maxey play the two, right? So you'd have a starting five right now, which is insane to think about. You have a starting five right now: James Harden, Maxey, Butler, Tobias Harris, and Joel Embiid. That's the best starting five in the league. And you still have like PJ Tucker, Daniel House, you're stacked. You're stacked. That team would be insane.
Yeah.
Durant on the Wizards would be crazy to watch as well. I think that would be too. I actually don't think it'd be as good of a fit. I really don't. I think it'd be a little clunky. But you know,
Does he need to win a championship for in your books? Does he need to win
agree.
a championship being the without having a loaded roster? Like,
Yeah,
does that is okay? He okay?
or at
I
least get to one. You know what
yeah
I mean?
okay.
Like he hasn't been able to do it. I mean, he got there, with Harden and Westbrook, but they ended up losing, and he's just never been there since. Until other than the Warrior thing.
I feel like
I know,
it,
Lisai.
yeah, no, it really it frustrated me because like all the other greats, we give him a pass, but like all the other greats, Magic, Bird, like yeah, they had really good players on their team, but like they were still the first guy and they were there before, like they kind of got that team built around them a little bit in most cases.
Yeah.
But like he added to what was it, 73 and what was it, 73 and
Yeah, they were 73-8 or whatever.
yeah. So like you added to that team, you know what I mean? And I just feel like everybody gives Kevin Durant a pass for like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I need to see him get to a championship and him be
Look,
the guy.
the fact that all the talent that has came through Brooklyn, even let's say that they never even got James Harden or Ben Simmons. Just having Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving and all the other guys that they have on this team, and the fact that they've only won one playoff series they've won since this team has been put together. Although I will say,
See, that's weird to me though. Like I know James Harden got injured, but like that's weird. Like how do you
they just
like
can't get over it. Look, sometimes things just aren't meant to be. Like I know it sounds silly, but
no,
it
no,
is.
I get it. I get it.
Like, there have been lots of things, especially in sports, where like you think it's going to happen and it just doesn't because it's sports. Like there's teams that like OKC should have been won a championship at some point.
At some
what I
point,
mean?
yeah.
And they never did. Like,
But even if you no, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, them losing to being up 3-1 against the Warriors and losing. Like they should have won that series. Like it's
That
just
was
sometimes
crazy.
sometimes things don't happen. I will say though, if Kevin Durant made that 3 instead of a 2 and beat the Bucks, I think everything would have changed.
Yo, the foot on the line. Oh,
If they, because look, they would have ran through Atlanta. They would have ran
I was
through
crying
Atlanta,
for him.
and I think that they would have beaten the Suns. So I think,
yeah. That
so
would have been.
I really believe if Kevin Durant made that 3 to send them home, they would have won the championship that year.
Yeah, no. I could agree with that. I mean, yeah, that was tough. That was tough. Foot on the line.
It does suck having a size 21 shoe. Come on. Can we close this quarter strong? We got 1 minute and 30 seconds left. Down 6. Look, that's not how you. You're lucky he just missed that. Ooh, they called the foul on that. Come on. Can we get this reasonable?
Come on, Lakers.
But yeah, this is. I think he just missed that, but okay. Come on, we got 1 minute and 30 seconds. Let's close this out strong.
But you even look at the Lakers on paper and any all right, let's just say blanket, we didn't know anything, any stats. I feel like 5 years ago you put Westbrook, AD, and LeBron on a team, you're like, whoa, super team, you know what I mean? You would think that's an instant championship. But it's just so many things have changed. AD has, injury problems.
Look, if these
LeBron's
three,
getting older, Westbrook can't necessarily score in this lineup. So it's
if these three were on a team together 5 years ago, I think the conversation would be completely different.
No, that's what I was saying. Yeah, absolutely,
because
100% different.
Ooh, finally making some threes. But yeah, I think that the fact that finally. But I think the fact that, we're just in a different league right now. The league has shifted and changed so much that I think I just don't think it works the way it used to.
Yeah.
If this was 2013, I think they would be fine. Because it's just different. It was just a different league. But I will say one thing.
And they were different players. They were all different players back then.
Yeah. But I want to say one thing before we get in the half and we end up wrapping up here. This team doesn't look any different without Russ playing. I just want to say that.
Agree. Agree. I can agree with you on that.
Nothing,
I can agree.
Nothing has changed. Nothing.
Everything from energy to actually trying to grab boards to missing shots. What are we, 3 from 15 right now?
No, well, we just hit. I think we just hit 2 threes.
Okay, but
2 minutes.
Nevertheless,
I mean, we're still not shooting great. 25% now.
Now, can we make an argument? Are we going to actually make an argument that they actually look worse? What?
I actually think they might be like at least tied, if not having a lead right now with Russ. Because at least Russ probably would at least have 5 to 7 points right now. Especially
and he brings intensity. Like, you can't ignore his. You know what I mean? Like, you can't ignore that.
Because who right now? You have LeBron with 7, Walker with 9, Davis with 12, Reeves with 5, Beverly with 2. I think Westbrook at least has Reeves and Beverly's point total combined right now, which means we'd be winning. I don't think.
And the defensive end as well.
Yeah,
you can probably have at least 1 or 2 stops right now, which would not probably equate to those points. So that's -4 for them.
Well, and Westbrook's been great defensively.
That's what I'm saying. And I think maybe the biggest part that Westbrook's bringing to the court right now, besides the few points that he's scoring, is the defense. Which is weird, but hey.
Yeah, I don't think this team looks any different. None.
From what I've seen in the second half, no. I'm gonna have to watch the rest of the game and actually.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. But I mean, this was the Lakers' chance to show, we don't need Russell Westbrook, and I just don't think that that's been the case.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Suns against Pelicans. What are you thinking of that one?
Oh, wow. You called a blocking foul. Wow. All right.
Suns v Pelicans. I don't know on that one. I'm going to take Pelicans. I got Pelicans to win that game.
I like the Pelicans too. Actually, the Pelicans are pretty nice this year.
I think they can beat the Suns.
I think they can too. I really don't think the Suns look that great. I know that they blew out the Warriors, the other game or whatever, but I still don't think they look like the dominant team that they did the season earlier.
All right.
And I just want to point out, LeBron still has 4 turnovers. He's leading the team in turnovers again. People talk about Russ with turnovers and everything.
Would you say he's still the worst decision maker on the starting 5?
Oh, good move. At times, yes. At times, Russ. Russ gets carried away at times. If he could just take a step back sometimes, I think he'd be a lot better. Good defense. Good move. See, this is how you close a quarter. Good job. Third quarter. Hopefully the third quarter isn't trash again. Oh, come on. That's not how you play defense. Good defense. There you go. Way to recover. Come on. You can. Oh, come on. 3, 2. Oh, lob. Let's go. That is how you close a quarter. That is how you close a quarter. Thank you. God. That is how you close a quarter. Let's go. Beautiful. Like I said, I still don't think this. I don't think not having Russ has made a difference at all. I really don't. I don't know. Call me crazy. Does anybody watching this right now think that it would have made a difference right now if we had Russ or not?
See, I feel like if they say no, they're just a genuinely Russ hater. They're just jumping on the Russ bandwagon, the hate bandwagon.
I don't think it would have made an impact either way. I don't. I think at worst we'd be in the same position we're in right now. I don't think we'd be necessarily any better anywhere. I don't this team isn't shooting better. This team isn't playing better defense. this team isn't, having more energy or anything. It's just, yeah, I agree. We'd probably be winning right now if we had Russ.
Wait, did he said for the Nuggets or against the Nuggets?
I think you meant like against the Nuggets.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what do you mean? Like in terms?
But yeah, I don't think it matters.
Oh.
Obviously, Russ wouldn't have made any difference in my opinion. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it would have. I don't think it changed anything. I don't think they look any worse or any better. I don't. I think they look like the exact same team we saw with Russ. But I don't know. Anyway, those are my thoughts and opinions. We're gonna wrap up the stream, and he said nah. Oh, come on, why's that working? I was gonna say about how all the haters think Russ is too much of a detriment that he would have scored 12. Oh, I get. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, Blucka. Now I get it.
Blucka with the jokes.
LeBron running point looks much more fluid.
Hey, what's up, Rich?
I think what's going on, Rich? We're about to skate on out of here, but I do think that I think LeBron should be playing point. Like I still think that they should operate Russ off the bench as the sixth man. Even if you start him, play him as the sixth man, whatever you got to do. But I don't think this team looks any different with or without Russ. Like, at least in the first half. I don't think the intensity's better. I don't think they're shooting better. I don't think it's anything. I really don't. Now, the problem is that the Lakers win this game, everybody's going to be like, see, we didn't need Russ and blah, 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 blah. Like,
see, and that won't necessarily even be necessarily true because
but it doesn't matter.
It depends on how we win. It really depends on how we win. That's going to
be the narrative. That's going to be the conversation.
If we blow them out by 30, okay, maybe it's a conversation. But if it comes to a close game, you know what I mean? We had a close game against the Clippers. So it's just
Russ just embraced the bench role, I think he could stick around with the Lakers. Like if he was just like, look, I'll come off the bench, I'll embrace the six-man role. Let's go. Let's go get a championship. I think that they could be good. I don't know if they'd be a contender, but I think they'd be better. I really do.
You have to think it's on Russ's mind. Like, what year are we in with Russ right now? Like in his career, because it's like, he has to want to win a championship before he retires. I mean,
maybe he doesn't. Not everybody is motivated by that. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Look at Damian Lillard, Bradley Beal, like they could have been onto a team and won a championship, but instead they want to stay where they're at. I mean, Russ.
He's already cemented himself. He has the most triple doubles in history. So
I mean, yeah, he's cemented already. He's never, even if he could win the next 3 championships, and people still aren't gonna think he's the greatest player ever. What does he have to gain by winning championships? I know I'm late, but you can see the team looked a little unmotivated starting the game. I think once Russ is gone, they can shake off a lot of the negativity. I mean, it's possible, but. Thanks for getting to my comment. Of course. The year of the Russ fallout. Russell Wilson, Russell Westbrook, Russell Brand. Yeah, facts.
I cannot.
But anyway, we're gonna skate on out of here.
Leave Wilson alone, please. Leave Wilson alone.
Wilson's trash right now. He is terrible. But hopefully he can turn around. But anyway, we're gonna skate on out of here. We appreciate all of you hanging out with us, having these discussions, having this fun. Don't forget to like the video if you haven't liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel. I saw a lot of new faces today. That was awesome. I appreciate you all coming over from the Laker channel and just finding this channel, whatever. Nonetheless, I appreciate all of you very much. Anything you want to say before we go, Jake?
No, we'll see. I'm hoping for a win. I'm telling you, first 5 games, I gotta get at least one. Just one.
I feel it. But yes, thank you all. We appreciate you all very much.